Over this past month, I managed well over $500,000 worth of Facebook ad spend for my clients. And I want to give you some of the most valuable things that I implemented and fixed for their campaigns and how you can use some of these same strategies for your brand as well. A new client came to me at the beginning of July and they were very unhappy with their Facebook ad performance, so much so that they ultimately just turned their ads off completely. They were extremely frustrated and confused. Their ads used to work really well and now they can't seem to get them to work at all, so they contacted me to help them out. So one thing that I like to do with any brand that I'm working with is study their customer journey from beginning to end. So I pretty much act like a potential customer. I scan through their ads, website, and social media, and I even go through their whole checkout process, literally the whole nine. This is a strategy that I got from Russell Brunson called funnel hacking, and it is a very effective way to either analyze yourself or spy on your competitors. I like to use this strategy a lot to determine what might be causing a Facebook ad campaign to be successful or unsuccessful. Truthfully, there are so many different variables that come into play that you have to get right if you want to have a successful Facebook ad campaign. Now, after analyzing their whole funnel, I realized they were making some very critical mistakes. The first mistake that I noticed was their actual Facebook ad campaign setup. When you have really high budgets with Facebook ads, Facebook is a little bit more forgiving if you don't structure your campaign correctly. However, when your budgets are smaller, you have far less margin for error. In this case in particular, this client was using Facebook to generate leads for their business and was optimizing for landing page views. However, I explained to them there were two more effective ways to run this campaign. The first way was to run lead generation ads on Facebook without having people leaving Facebook at all. Now, I will say the quality of these leads sometimes are not super great because people rarely update their Facebook pages like that, but you will most definitely be able to get more leads for less this way, especially if you're comparing it to optimizing for landing page views. Now, another strategy that I offered was to switch the campaign objective to a conversion campaign and to optimize towards registration complete, since they already had a good landing page in place already. Ultimately, the client did decide to go with the second option, and this option, after testing, performed very well for them. The second thing that I noticed is that they didn't have enough creative for the amount of advertising dollars they were spending on Facebook every single month. Ad fatigue is real, and it can drastically tank the performance of your campaign fast if you are falling asleep at monitoring your Facebook ad campaigns. The key metric that you definitely want to pay very close attention to is your frequency rating. Your frequency rating pretty much tells you how many times somebody has seen your ad. Once you start to notice that your frequency rating is starting to surpass 4, you need to add more creative to your campaign. Once somebody sees your same exact ad more than 4 times, they're pretty much sick of you and they are less likely to convert at that point. Now, when it comes to how much creative you need, I recommend having at least 5 creatives to start with a good mixture of short form video and static images. You also want to make sure that your creatives are designed with the sound off in mind. If you didn't know, over 70% of social media users have their sound off when utilizing social media, so adding text and captions can boost the performance of your short form video creatives. Ultimately, your budget and your ad placements are going to determine how much creative you need, but 5 creatives are more than enough if you're just getting started with Facebook ads. If you're getting value this far, if you can like and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you have any questions, make sure that you leave a comment down below. I always try to make sure that I answer every comment. Now, another client that I worked with this past month, I realized a major mistake that this client was making was that their overall campaign lacked a clear and concise value proposition. So many people think that their product sells itself, and that's rarely the case. Just because you put your product in somebody's face doesn't mean they're going to buy from you. You have to convince people on why your product is better or different from your competitors and how your product can bring added value to their lives. So let's take a look at this ad by Lyft. As you can probably tell, their value proposition is that they want to help you get where you are going without breaking the bank with their new rideshare feature. which will also help you save more money and more time than if you called a cab or use a different ride-sharing app like Uber. So always have your consumers' needs and desires on the forefront of your mind when you're crafting your creative and copy for your campaigns. And your actual product, I mean, that helps too. So some really good standards to stick to when you're crafting your Facebook ad campaigns is to make sure that your value proposition is clear and very easy to understand. It should communicate what benefits or result the user will get from using your product or service. And lastly, you want to show how you are different from your competition. It should convince your potential customer why you should use you instead of your competitors. Now, if it seems like no matter what you do, you feel like Facebook ads never seem to work, I recommend that you check out this video right here where I expose the truth behind Facebook ads and how they really work.